Alright, I'm back. So, as I was saying, from my understanding, the community has various opinions. Well, not various opinions, but differing opinions from what the game has for attackers, healers, and so on and so forth. I find it interesting that is the case, that we can essentially go into this game, how do you say? Or go into games in general and not come out of it essentially trusting what the devs put on the screen. It's strange. It definitely is strange how this can all go. But with that being said, and what I was saying about the whole healer thing and attackers and tanks and all that, pretty sure Vandham was supposed to be a tank. He definitely had the health for it. But due to the fact that, like Minori right here, even though she's classified as a healer, it still comes with a bunch of offensive specials. And, that's not even considering Pyra here, who has a healing special on her stuff, but is the equivalent of an attack type. And I don't know. It's an interesting design choice to have so many blades with interesting secondary options. But the obvious issue is when it, like I just mentioned, when it comes to the community and trying to figure out like what is the best blade for X, Y, or Z. We get so many different variations that we don't end up trusting what is written on the game. For now, because I haven't done any more research on it, I'm just going to trust what the game gives me in terms of a stat layout. I'm not going to look at what anyone has to say on it. Wait. Oh, okay. I'm not going to go after what anyone has to say on it due to the fact that I just, again, want to gain my own opinions on the system that I am given to play with. And hopefully, well, not even hopefully, I know for the fact that it's not going to, it's not going to hamper my playthrough of the game. And I can say this because I know it didn't. I beat the game the first time around and it didn't. But that in and of itself raises an interesting question about RPGs, video games in general, when you think about it, in that how, a lot of games don't really need you to know how to beat them in order for you to get to the final boss and stuff like that. Or, I said that wrong. They don't really need you to know how to play optimally. I think that's a better word for it. Because, well, I already said my piece on that, but yeah, it's just that in general, games are made for, I guess you can say that a lot of games are made for people who don't play games, and so they don't necessarily expect you to dive as deep into them as you could. And unfortunately, what ends up happening is that games that do require that extra bit of depth don't end up being very popular amongst anyone. Well, I shouldn't say not popular amongst anyone, but it's very difficult to get people to play a game that requires a lot of... What's the word I'm looking for here?
What have we here?
Investment. Time investment. It's very difficult to get people to play a game that requires a lot of time investment, where you're not immediately put in a strong position that you have to build yourself up to it. My example with that being fighting games. Even though the fighting game genre has definitely popped off a lot more in recent years, it is...
What have we here?
It definitely had that legacy for a minute of being too difficult for the average gamer, even though it was the average gamer who was playing fighting games in the first place. But nevertheless. Okay, that has a pathway that's blocked off. That's perfect.
What have we here?
Flora heals an aching soul.
Wait. No, I think... Okay. Sorry, I had a brain fart there. I forgot why I had Nia in front of the party, and it's because I needed her to be at the front in order to get steps in with Korra.
And arrived.
All in one.
Hell of a story. So you headed to the World Tree to reach Elysium, but got swallowed up whole instead. You got some crazy luck.
So, what were you doing back there then?
You know this Titan? It ain't too fussy about what it eats. I went down there to see if anything we might need in the village washed up. But mostly I only found your sorry mushes.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Here we are. Welcome to Garfont. Ain't much but a tone.
The village has a lot of children.
Lots of drivers and blades here, too.
We're in the business of dispatching drivers and blades all across the world. Most of the kids are war orphans. Took them in while on the job.
So you're saying that you take them under your wing?
Just till they're able to make it by themselves.
Some of them might grow up to be drivers, like ourselves. But then others might become tailors.
Doesn't matter what they want to do with their lives. We leave it up to them to decide.
Aye, us justice busters just want to help.
Good eggs, huh?
You said it. I've been called worse. Come on, let's eat. All this egg talk's making me hungry.
I wanted to talk about something, and then I immediately forgot. It'll come back to me. Hey, look who's here. Food's on the table. Don't you worry about the cost. Eat as much as you like.
I'm going to get some water. Vandham?
Cheers, love. Give me a beer.
Beer? Coming right up.
What's up? The grub don't suit you?
So, do you fight in wars too, Vandham?
You got a problem with mercenaries?
Are you trying to get us to join up?
Ha! Shrimps like you, we're not that desperate. Relax.
Okay. Good to know.
Rex. You're a salvager, ain't you?
Yeah.
You must have fished out your share of military supplies, right? You fine with that?
Nah, I don't want to get involved with it.
It's all the same. Compasses, valves for ether stoves. Armies need all these things. That bread you're eating, it's made from Ruska flour, supplied by the Ardanian government. This world's full of war. Don't matter if you're a soldier or not. As long as you're alive, you're in the war, some way or another. Don't you think? Life can be cruel. Crueler than you know. That's why I set up this little band, so I could protect the people I care about. Rex, you're the driver of the Aegis. The whole world's gonna try and scalp you. You realize that? How you gonna live when you've got everyone gunning for you? It'd be easy to run. All you need to do is ditch that girl. Come on. Gotta get ready.
Where are we going?
Just follow me, kid.
I don't remember any of that. But at the same time, that's pretty cool. It's interesting, right? Because maybe I should have... I don't even know if I'm going to get to Xenoblade Chronicles 3, but I think it's really interesting how each of these games deal with the topic of war. And that, you know, essentially Rex is acting, in a very loose sense, but acting like a person, something that is mentioned in Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which is the people who just rather not deal with it. He doesn't want any part in the war. He doesn't want to support it, but, you know, eating something as simple as bread is, in a fact, supporting the war, and it's, well, I assume it's coming to the realization that he can't just cross his fingers, close his eyes, and go and hope it goes away. It is coming to the understanding that I exist in this world. This world has war, and people are on both sides. So probably, you know, won't take either side, but try and figure out a way to help end the war, I guess. He said to follow him, but I'm not seeing him anywhere. What an annoying old guy. Where do you think Vandham went? I guess we just explore the village until we run into him. Good idea. It's always best to give a lay of the land when you arrive at a new place. Besides, didn't he say to get ready for something? He's not exactly going big on explaining himself, is he? There's quite a few shops around here, so let's stock up on anything we need to, when we look, whatever. I think I didn't appreciate a lot. I know I mentioned this before, but I really did not appreciate a lot of the visuals of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I know I'm going to mention, like, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 a bunch, but that's because, like, understand that a lot of the passion that I now have for this series again stems from me playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and, you know, just coming to the understanding that no, Monolith Soft does know what they're doing in terms of making games. I don't think I was just there for them in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And the more that I play this game, the more that I start to realize, because, like, I can't tell you how much Tora damaged my perception of what this game was, that when, like, that cutscene that literally just happened appeared, I was barely listening to it. And that's probably why I did not like Tora that much in retrospect. But, quick question. Does outdoor attack count for spit if I'm inside Uriah? Because I'm technically not outdoors. I'm just saying. I'll get it anyways. But, you know, a lot of my interest in the series was reignited by Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And, you know, coming to the understanding that, okay, they can still make the games that I like. Maybe if I just go back to 2, I can now appreciate it for doing something different. And, well, I wouldn't necessarily say that, I appreciate all that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 did. Oh, do we have a fast blade switch? But, I am starting to see a lot more interesting aspects to this game that I overlooked the first time through due to me just not being in the headspace to receive what it was trying to say. Let's see now. Start the battle with minor aggro. Like, that's not even... This effect isn't good, right? And it's due to the fact that... Because Tora should just be gaining aggro. Because that's what he is by design. So if I waste money on something like this, then I wasted money. I don't know. That's like how I try to understand the equipment in this game. Because I can literally just buy everything and be out of money, but that's not smart, nor is that interesting. And I think that that is like a huge boon of the modern RPG that I haven't really been taking advantage of in, well, not in this game, but in just, you know, personal playthroughs of when I play RPGs, is the fact that a lot of the equipment isn't how it used to be. Things have very specific effects, like 20 plus 25 party percent engaged, 10 HP recovery, and 15% HP damage barrier. Like, stuff like that should factor a lot into how I strategize and what I do and things of that nature, but I just hate to admit that when I was younger, I just mashed A. Just go through. I mean, I'm going through all the dialogue right now. I'm like, you know, let's not pretend that I'm not, but at the same time, it's the consideration of what it is that I'm doing per what's the word I'm looking for? Item thingamajig. Per purchase, I guess, because it has an effect for a reason, and I need to take that into account when I don't want to get 3 of these. Let's just get one for now. When I what's the word I'm looking for? When I buy something. In fact, that is the what I wanted to talk about with Gorg. I think I'm saying the name right. Is that to give him more synergy with Nia? I wanted to give him to Rex, but at the same time, they do have some level of synergy thanks to Minori, and I mean, at some point I might just give Gorg to Rex because I don't need Nia being the water and water and water girl. Because what I mean, there is potential help there, right? You know, you go to Dromark, switch out to Gorg. Gorg does Gorg things, and you know, you can potentially level 1 Gorg, level 2 Dromark, go back to Gorg, level 3 with him potentially. You know, but like I at this point in the game, it's easier to rely on other party members to do that kind of work for me. And I mean, I have Korra and Minori, so that should be fine for the time being. Besides, I haven't unlocked the third party slot, blade slot rather, so excuse me, can't leave my post, but I got something to do. Something the matter? Well, the thing is, we got ourselves a little problem here. I'd like to hear more about the details. What about you? Yeah, same here. Can you fill us in? The kids went out to play, but it's been ages since they've come back. When we go out to play, sometimes they come back with stuff we need, like food or raw materials. It's all good, but I worry. I've asked the kids to stop, but kids, they want to help the village in their own way, I suppose, playing at Mercs. At any rate, it's not unusual for them to come back late, but whichever way you slice it, they've been gone for an awfully long time. I don't want to overly worry, but you do hear stories. I want to go and make sure that they're okay, but I can't abandon my duties. I'd like to help if that's okay. You'll go and check for me? Thanks, that'll be a huge help. The kids were heading over to the Great Mall Rapids way. I'd start looking there. Thank you. Okay, that is a ways away. So I also to mention, you probably figured this out by now, but I haven't been doing any side quests in Torgoth or Gormott, my bad. I haven't been doing any of them because I just haven't got the chance to Doom as of late, but at some point I'll do it.
The world has many amazing places in it.
You sure know how to keep a guy waiting, rookies. Very sorry for wait. It's fault of Vandham for rushing off far ahead. Sorry about that. I guess you've already seen him when we fought earlier, but let's introduce ourselves properly, shall we? I'm Rock, Vandham's blade. Pleasure to meet you all. Pleasure's all ours. I noticed you use an unusual style weapon. Yeah, they're called dual size. Even around here, I've never seen anyone but Vandham who can use them. Wow, big man, very amazing. Don't flatter him too much, it'll go to his head. Vandham only have one blade then? Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. I know most drivers have a few, so they can change up their strategies in battle, but me, Rock's all I ever needed. Big man, really amazing. Sounds like you just can't be bothered to think up more than one strategy, eh, old man? Well, now that we know a bit more about each other, let's get down to business. He dodged the question. An expert dodge, to be sure.
We just got a job to go check out some kind of crazy energy effect. Somewhere up around the blowhole. What do you say? Fancy being a mercenary for a day?
Okay. But, I mean, we don't work for free.
Don't worry, kid. You'll get paid.
Party formation has changed. Okay, guess we're gonna find out if Vandham's a tank now. Speaking of Vandham, I think this interpretation of the— oh. He certainly is not a tank. Okay, well, fair enough. I think this interpretation of the character is one of my favorites in the entirety of Xenoblade Chronicles. Matthew takes a really strong seat at the table, for lack of a better term, but this— I don't remember a lot about this game, okay? I remember him. I distinctly remember this guy. I just distinctly remember him. Quick question, though. Oh, yeah. Alright, Cyrex. Listen, he's not a tank. What do you want me to do about it? Wait, does Rex have— no, he doesn't have— he doesn't have topple. Okay, we're good, we're good, we're good. Yeah. Like I said, I'm— okay, so here's the interesting thing about me not battling enemies as much as I can be, is that I end up losing out on materials and stuff like that, and that is another interesting aspect of RPGs that I don't necessarily consider all that much. The games are designed for you to interact with them as much as possible, which, you know, just makes sense. But so the reason I said that it's pretty interesting that people don't like fighting that much in RPGs is due to the fact that, like I just said, the games are designed for you to constantly get into fights, into encounters and things of that nature. That way you can get the exact items you need, you can get the exact this, that, and the other. And, oh, he has launch? I didn't know. And things of that nature. But if I go out of my way to ignore the encounters that are given to me, I end up going to be suffering in the long run due to the fact that I don't have this equipment that drops from this enemy that I could have used to thingamajig upgrade my weapons at this particular point in the game. And I don't know. I hope what I just said makes sense, right? Because you wouldn't know it if you're not trying to go out of your way to get the best weapons in the game and things of that nature. But a lot of these games really are just designed for you to get into combat sections as much as possible. And from my experience the last part, about avoiding so many combat encounters and getting, you know, my butt handed to me by Brent. I don't want to be lacking, you know. I want to. When I get as far as I can into the game, I want to go, dang, I did a really no, not I did a really good job. I want to have a really easy time getting the items I need.
I bet we can recover. Let's just get up here and stick.
Wait, wait a minute now. Rock can still get affinity.
I see, indeed.
Oh, but I don't have the proper thing to get him to 5 and on. Okay. If that's the case, this suddenly makes sense. And if this suddenly makes sense, I really need to swap Minori off of Rex. Because you're not helpful. Arai, and this is Lyn. Let's put Lyn on Rex.
I'm sure it'll work out great.
And okay, so I'm supposed to be swapping blades out. Yeah. Okay. In Gormont. Ugh. I have to go back there. No, but yeah. Okay. So this is how the combat. This is my interpretation of how the combat system works. For common blades, the devs want you to be swapping them out to increase their trust, so on and so forth. And they have very easy numbers to hit in comparison to the rare blades. And you're supposed to be swapping them out and building the affinity so you can get stuff like Wind Mastery, Agronomy. Yeah, you can tell how many times I have to say that in my life. And things of that nature, so that these what are they called? Stuff. You know, the stuff, the environmental thingamajigs you can do. I know I said it before, but like, look, I don't think about Xenoblade Chronicles 2's systems that much, alright? But basically so that you can I know what I'm trying to say. So you can have more things to activate environmental thingamawhatsits so that you can progress through the game a lot easier. I think that's what they're trying to do. Forgive me for the brain fart. Wait a minute! Who needed the buttons? Who needed the buttons? I think it's Korra. Yes! Alright, perfect. See? Like I said, the game is meant for me to run in here and just decimate enemies. And if I were to ignore that, I would have a much harder time not only upgrading the blades, but just I just have a harder time in general enjoying myself in the game. Because at that point it would also become cutscene watch the experience, I guess. Which I guess in a sense is also very interesting when you think about it. Because even though I will admit to being interested in seeing how the cutscenes play out without the gameplay to accompany it and any kind of interesting thing, my interest would be lost pretty fast, which is understandable, right? Because that's just how the gameplay experience goes.
Poppy is shaped like girl, but if Vandham happy, then Poppy is happy.
Oh, I've never known that there was an interaction between those two. But if I go on to ignore it, then I'm doing myself a greater disservice. Even if... Oh, I think I got it now. I think I now understand why there's like a passive EXP thing in the game, and it's for people who just wanted to experience the story, and it allows them to still be on track with a number of systems in the game, a number of encounters, while not investing all that much time into it. And, you know, that's kind of interesting. I don't necessarily agree with that approach. In my opinion, when it comes to gaming, the developer should make, you know, getting into encounters as enjoyable as possible. Because, hey, if you designed your game to primarily be an action game, guess what? It should be an action game. I don't feel like I'm saying anything absurd in that regard. But nevertheless, it is kind of absurd to see the hoops that some games anyways, will jump through to streamline the experience so that players get to the end of the game as frictionless as possible, for lack of a better term. And I just can't help but think that that's not a really good way to go about it. That would sound very easy, considering the fact that, you know, how do you say, there's this whole combat system in it, but like I said, some people are just here for the story. Not to say that there's anything wrong with that, right? They put in a good story for a reason. It's to captivate you, to get you to the end of the game, and interest you to buy it. That is the corporate, you know, vision behind it all. But, like I said, I just don't like the fact that how they go about it, because with that in mind, it does make a lot of things in Xenoblade Chronicles 3 make so much more sense, because why can't I just break the game? Oh, I thought my phone went off. I'm sorry. Why can't I just break the game by just, or break the difficulty systems of the game by just, you know, resting at campsites, right? That doesn't make sense, because this is a mechanic that the game entices me to use, but if I use it, then the game is too easy now, because I'm also being diligent about the fights. I'm sorry, I thought I had a point here, apparently I didn't, but it is just an interesting talking point to have about video games and who they're being made for nowadays. Because, obviously, you'd think it'd be an obvious thing that games should be made for people who play games, but, you know, more and more games come out, and you start to wonder a thing or two, or three. I keep missing every opportunities to quote Rex. With that being said, about, you know, game design, I guess, I do... Oh, that was it. I do wish that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 in particular, no, not even 2 in particular, but the Xenoblade games allowed me to pause in the middle of combat. That would have made that earlier section where I had to run for a bit a little easier for me to digest, but oh! Only me. Only I would somehow almost fall off that thing.
An ether miasma. Take it this is your first one.
Ether miasma?
It's a load of poisonous waste products spewed from the Titan's gut. You know, when you get gassy, kinda like that.
Is there a way through this thing? I can't see any way around it.
Hey, no fear. Rock, mate, you're up.
Miasma's died down.
Yep, nothing to it. Let's roll.
I appreciate them trying to make field actions look cool, but I don't think they ever feel cool to interact with. Jeva's outlook. Like I said, I realized I didn't finish what I was saying earlier, or I didn't get to the point of what I was saying earlier. Maybe I did. But, like, I didn't appreciate Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and its visuals, was the Sophronia tree. You know, I went into Xenoblade Chronicles 3 only remembering a lot about Xenoblade Chronicles 1, again.
Let me see.
I wasn't here for a lot of stuff that Xenoblade 2 did, and, you know, just getting the chance to look out at everything that this game has again is just awesome. Oh, we didn't... Oh. Wait, what is this? Igna. Wait, didn't I fight some Ignas earlier? Am I guess I didn't. Well, it's not like we're out of Uriah yet, so... I'm gonna go on a guess that... Wait a minute. Again. Dromark, shouldn't you be at, like, the next level? Oh, it's 4. Of course it is. And this is defeat Volths. Well, we haven't encountered them yet. There it is. Okay, finally. And I mean, you know, my... Wait. I just ran in a circle. Alright. I mean, Bunnets are here. Alright. And to Vandham we go. I will say, it is cool. Like, even though I didn't necessarily want to play as Nia in this part, I do think it's good and an interesting thing that some of the blades will just cause you to play as that blade's driver for the set. Dude, he's so wide. But it is a good thing that some blades will cause you to play as the driver, because, you know, it just allows you to get more whatchamacallit. It allows you to experience other characters more.
Yeah. Sun setting.
The days
Place for
at
a
an
camp, maybe.
Dude.
This would make a good nesting place.
Dude, I never even knew Vandham had this many lines. Like, I'm not even kidding you. So another thing, and this is what I was talking about way earlier, about, like, it's easier for me to go dead brain in some of these sections and just, like, not switch characters. It's like, I went through the whole game playing Rex until Zeke showed up. And then I went, wait a minute. I want to switch characters now. And it's like hours upon hours in. So, it's amazing the amount of stuff I missed. But this is also, like, really cool what's going on right now. That not all the enemies aggro onto you. I think there were, like, a handful on the Bionis' knee that did that in Xenoblade Chronicles 1. Is that a Wolf? It's a Wolf! Dude, I've missed so much with Vandham. Oh, but he's so slow. Man, this is slow. Whoa, wait a minute, where'd you come from? Alright, whatever. I'm gonna believe this time. Unfortunately, I'm playing as Vandham, so I don't have the benefit of Rex's stuff. Sheesh. I'm still going to use Vandham for as long as I can, but I'm switching off of him, dude. Like, that was too long. And I thought Tora was slow. Alright, that's where this one is gonna stop, and I appreciate you all for coming by. But before we sign off, I want to give people the opportunity to get saved if they aren't already saved. So, as it says in Romans 10:9, that if thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus, and shalt believe in thine heart that God had raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. Or, in other words, if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord, and believe that God had raised him, on the third day, then you shall be saved. What salvation is, well, knowing God. It's not just a matter of going to heaven, but knowing the character of God, about knowing who he is, knowing that he is good, and knowing that he is for you and has a plan for you, a good plan for your life. I think a lot of people, when they hear about salvation, they just think about going to heaven. But it's actually a lot more than that, and a bit more complicated too. Well, more simple and more complicated at the same time. And, it's not just about getting a free ride out of hell. It's about knowing God. And I think a lot of people miss that in just, trying to, get out of hell. Because, the thing about it is that every man has sinned and come short of the cross. So if at any point you were questioning why salvation is a thing, why is it for you, then hey, that's the reason why. Because we're not as holy as God. We're not to the point where we all should be. And I think we can all agree that nobody on earth is perfect. And that's the part of why we need salvation in the first place. In any case, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Until then.